Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your free NBA previews and prediction on tonight's games for a Tuesday, Ruby Tuesday, January 19th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner. Before we get to today's preview, guys, don't forget, you can get 25% off any membership packages right here at atsstats.com. Just put in promo code ATS25 and get 25% off your next membership subscription right here at atsstats.com. And if you're looking for some winning angles on tonight's game, I got 17 winning betting angles involving both games tonight, including an 80% totals angle on tonight's game between the Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. All right, let's go to the first game on deck here. We're going to talk about the Pelicans and the Utah Jazz. Now, Utah, a 5.5 point favorite. The over-under set at 217. ATS forecast, computer pick. Going to lead with the Jazz here, who are having a really good season. 9-4 in the year. 107 to 105. The over-under at 213. And looking at the total on this game, it's 217. So the computer does like it to go under the total. Jazz 7-3 straight up in the last 10 games and against the point spread. 3-7 to the under. Where the Pelicans, I've talked about it a few times here in this the broadcast. I don't like the Pelicans when they're a favorite, but I don't mind when they're an underdog, and they're an underdog tonight, and the computer likes them. They're 4-6, however, in the last 10 games, 3-7 against the point spread, 6-4 to the over. Now, looking at the value index of the Raymond Report. Now, if you're new to the Raymond Report, there's 3 key ingredients that I look for when I handicap the fundamentals of sports betting: value, percentage play, and performance cycles. I believe all 3 of those play a major role when you're doing your selections. And looking at the value index on tonight's game between the Jazz and the Pelicans, I had Utah minus 4.7, and the bookmakers just trying to squeeze a bit out of you here at 5.5. So almost fair market value. But if you do like the Pels, look at this. 0.97 is our value rating, and you're getting 5.5. So you are getting value on the New Orleans Pelicans. The chance of winning the game straight up favors the Jazz here at 71%. But the chance of covering going to the Pelicans, and then the chance of covering is based on our law of average theory that everything, what goes up must come down. Everything hovers around that 50% mark, and the chance of New Orleans getting back to that 50% mark from a small cycle to a long-term cycle is at 67%. Your Kogo chance of game going over the total is at 64%. Same application, same theory applies right there. Looking at the streaks here. Nothing really to write home about. Only a 2-game win streak straight up and against the spread, 2 unders. Let's take a look at the latest line moves on this game between New Orleans and Utah. Now the total opened up at 217. The peak was at 219.5, and it's now down to 217. So a bit of a roller coaster right there. And looking at the spread, nothing really to talk about right there. All right, let's take a look at the Jazz. As I said, 9-4 in the season, 8-5 against the point spread, 4-9 to the under. Where New Orleans 5-7 on the year, 4-8 against the number, 6-6 to the over/under. So batting 500 with the total. And looking at the last game, a 128-123 win over the Sacramento Kings. The Pelicans are 3-4 straight up against the number on the road, 2-5 to the under when they're away from the Smoothie Center in New Orleans, something like that. And looking at the Jazz here tonight, 2-2 in the road. But the thing here that's really surprising, 9 road games already for Utah. And 2-2 at home. So only played 4 games, but all 4 of those games went under the total. So something to keep an eye out there. Now both teams are on 1 day's rest, and any NBA home favorite of 3.5 to 6 so far this year, 7-16-1 against the point spread, but 7-17 to the under. And any road underdog on 1 day's rest, 3.5 to 6 point road dog, a little bit better record, 14-8-1, 8-5. 18-15 to the under. So if you do like the under in the road dog, I think you got yourself a nice little play right there, and that's something I think I would consider. I think the Pelicans getting plus 5.5 might be worth a look here, but let me see the history. Yeah, the history when so where is it there? Here it is. Nothing, okay, last 10 games, 4-6 in Utah, 4-5-1, and in the last 10 head-to-head games, the advantage goes to the Jazz, 7-3 straight up, 6-4 against the point spread. I don't know, guys. The total, the money, the over/under has gone up and down, and the total staying steady at 5.5. So the bookmakers think they can get enough action on both this line, on both sides of the line here. So maybe the total, the under is where you might want to lean. Now, but the Kogo's at 64%, so maybe it's a no play for me. Let's take a look at the Oklahoma Denver. Now the Thunder coming, let me see, in their last game, I know they played Chicago. That was a really good game. I think, that was a game. The one in Philly got postponed. 127. That was a come from behind win. This was a game where Chicago was up 18 points, and I've said it a few times in the podcast where I felt Chicago really mentally quit. I wouldn't say they physically quit. They mentally checked out, and the fatigue got to them, and the Thunder had a great game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just rallied the troops, and they came with a nice victory that game. Now, they're going to Denver, where the altitude's always a factor in Denver. 9.5 is the point spread. The over-under set at 220. Forecast going to lean with the Nuggets here, 114 to 106. The over-under at 221.52. So it does like this game, you see here, to go over the total and 9.5. So it does favor OKC here. But you know what? Thinking of OKC, I'm thinking of Billy Donovan when he coached last season with OKC, and now look what he's doing with Chicago. Even though they're not, they're winning, but the cover, the point spread cover is amazing. Something to consider when Billy Donovan coached teams, and he's shown it again this year in Chicago. But back to this one between the Thunder and the Nuggets. Both teams 5-5 in their last 10. Oklahoma City 5-5 against the point spread. Denver 4-6. And looking at the value index, minus 3.66 for the Nuggets, so they're overvalued here at 9.5. And for the let me see here, the Denver Oklahoma City Thunder plus 6.09, and you're getting 9.5, so you're getting good value here on the Thunder. And if you look at the chance of winning, 76% for the Denver Nuggets, and 64% chance of covering as well. So they got the chance of winning, the chance of covering in their favor. 48% chance of this game going over the total. Let's take a look at the early line moves on this game. It's still early in the morning. Again, I suggest you look at the line moves prior to tip-off. Now, it opened up at 219.5. The peak was at 221, and it's at 218. So a little bit like the other game. A little bit of highs and lows right there, and the total not moving. The point spread not moving at 9.5. So it'll be funny what the calculator thinks on this one. Looking at the let me see here, strength of schedule. Still don't have enough games in the system. Denver 6-7 on the year, 5-8 against the number, 8-5 to the over. Where Oklahoma 6-6, so playing 500 ball, 7-5 against the point spread, 500 to the over under. Here, talk about your Jekyll and Hyde team, right? 1-5 straight up at home, but 5-1 on the road and against the point spread. So wow, OKC Road Warriors this year early on in the NBA, 2-4 to the under. Now looking at the last 10 games, Denver has had really the advantage over the Thunder here. 8-2 straight up, but 9-1 in their last 10 head-to-head games, and high favorites this year in the NBA, guys, on 1 day's rest, minus 9.5 to 12 home favorite. 9-2 straight up, but only 6-5 against the point spread. Still a winning record, 7-4 to the over. Now let's take a look at. Let me see if there's any good stats here on the road teams. Still early in the season but what I'm looking here is league system trends. So league systems. So when any team, not just one team, and those give me a good indication on the type of season. So there's really nothing to write home about here. You know what? I'm going to go to the ATS calculator. I'm going to put a 2-in-1 here today. I'm going to do two shows in one. I'm going to go to, let's go to this, stay with this Oklahoma City Thunder, OKC, and Denver. Survey says. So it likes Denver to win by 10.76 and 222.97. And let's do the other game here. So we're going to go New Orleans. Again, folks, this is the ATScalculator.com. You can try the demo here. We have a demo if you want to give it a shot for all the sports. Really great number crunching. If you're a numbers, if you involve numbers in your handicapping and situational, also it's a good tool to use to get an early lean on what you should be thinking to go with your situational handicapping methods, right? Home 7.96, so it does like Denver. And the thing is, right, Denver and Utah, for some reason they always tend to play those teams. When teams visit Denver, obviously the altitude, but also that isolation in Utah, right? For some reason, let me see, 215, so it likes it to go under. in this one. So 10 points and then 220. What did I say for the Denver? Let me go back to Denver. So Oklahoma and Denver. I think it was 222 or 227. I can't make out my 2s and 7s right now yet. 222.97. All right. So we're over the total there in the Denver game, and we're under the total in the Utah game. And the thing with the calculator, guys, so let's say you want to clear some values. Like, say, I don't care about the last 10 games of each of these teams because I don't, it wasn't the same players or there was injuries. So you can clear that, and it changes also the forecast. See, now it's 223 when you do that. And that's the beauty of this thing. You can start clearing out values that you think that don't apply to your handicapping or your number crunching, and you'll see at the bottom you get a different result. It's like building your own fantasy rules template, right? And that's the same thing with the ATS calculator. All right, guys, there you have it. That's the previews and prediction today. So again, I think New Orleans, I'm going to lean probably with the under in that game. Calculator agrees, and there's no way I'm laying ever 9.5 points on a Denver team that's inconsistent, and especially with that record. It's not a great record. It's okay, but it's not, it's not Denver. It's not Utah 9-4, like, right? So if I'm going to play, hey, Oklahoma City 5-1 against the point spread, so you might want to give that a consideration. So those are my two leans so far today, guys, on the Raymond Report NBA. Again, you can get 25% off my top plays right here at ATS Stats or the membership. Like, just get the regular membership and get access to all the features here at atsstats.com. All right, folks, 2 NBA games only today on deck, so it's a 2-for-1 video today. So instead of doing the ATS calculator and the Raymond Report, I'll combine it I did combine it in the one video. So there you have it. Before I go, a little shout out to the Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee Bucks game last night. Talk about a great basketball game last night. Full credit to both these teams. And again, I said it yesterday in the video, right? Batman needs Robin, and you saw it on both these teams. Milwaukee with Giannis and Middleton, and you saw last night Durant and Harden. And when Kyrie gets back, it's going to add a little different element to the maybe the chemistry, because who knows, right? When you bring in that third wheel, how is that going to play into the chemistry of sharing the ball? And Steve Nash going to have to figure that out. But I just wanted to give a props to that game last night. What a great game. That was the type of game where it just the team that made the mistakes in the final minute was going to cost them the game. These guys were like a heavyweight boxing match last night. 2 points there, 2 points here, a three. It was just toe to toe, right? It was a great game, and if that's what's to come in the playoffs, man, bring it, because it's going to be a great NBA Finals or Eastern Conference. But having said that, there's 2 other teams you got to consider. I still think Boston, if they get Tatum, they'll get Tatum, but Kemba Walker's got to show up, not like he did in the bubble. And Philly's going to be a team you got to contend with. So Philly, Boston, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee are to me, the top dogs in the NBA East. And that was a great game last night. Anyway, just wanted to give a shout out. I'm sure you guys watched it too, and you enjoyed that game. All right, guys, have yourself a great rest of your Ruby Tuesday. As always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back shortly with another Raymond Report.